What's up, everyone? This is your girl, Lady Kai, coming to you about getting your hustle on. Now, I was at a networking event tonight because I'm an entrepreneur by heart, like spirit, body, soul, everything. I've always known that I wanted to be a business owner, run my own business since I was a child. And so, in the public school system, elementary school, in New York, Queens, New York, shout out to the NYC, I started selling candy. I've been a big girl all my life, and of course, the big girl had snacks. So everyone said, "Hey, let me get some of that. Let me get some of those chips. Let me get some of that candy. Let me get a piece of gum." And I grew up with five other siblings, so I know what it is to share, and I didn't mind sharing. But then it would be like, well, dang, you have given out all your stuff. So it just dawned on me, ding, 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 why not bring the corner store to the masses? And so when I would go to school and people would be like, hey, let me get a piece of gum, I'd be like, I got it, but it's 5 cents, 10 cents. And they'd be like, okay. So they would pay me for my gum. And they would pay me for my now laters and Laffy Taffy. And then, they start Jolly Ranchers. They would start saying like, hey, do you have this? Do you have that? And I would be like, okay, they want this, they want that. And I would take my profit and I would go buy what the kids wanted for the other stuff because I couldn't eat the peanut butter stuff. So I sold the Chico sticks. I sold the Bit O Honeys. I sold the Boston baked beans. I couldn't eat those, but people wanted those. So I got them. And from there, that was it. Like, and it was easy then, it's like, oh, I bought it for 5 cents. I'm gonna sell it for 10 cents. I knew I had, some money. And so it started out small. I didn't even have to ask my parents, like, hey, how much should I sell this for? And they just started noticing that I had all of this change and be like, you stay at the store and you keep coming home with these big bags of candy. What are you doing with it? And I told them, and they were like, oh my God, girl. But I did it throughout my whole elementary school career. And even from there, it spread. I used to sell the lanyards. Everybody remember those plastic strips that you used to do with the Chinese staircase or the cobra, the box, the barrel. And so I couldn't even tell you how I got started, but I was doing them on my little free time or whatever, recess. I'm not that old, but I had recess. So I would be doing it and people would be like, hey, how do you do that? And I would show them. No biggie. Then people started saying, can you make me one? And I was like, yes, I can. So I started selling the lanyard keychains that I had made. But then some people was like, well, no, I don't want you to make it. I want to make it. Show me how to do it. So then I started having class during recess on how to start these keychains. And then so I sold it. I sold it from, if I started it, it was, let's say 25 cents because I really don't remember the prices. If I started it, it was 25 cents. If I did it, it was 50 cents. And then, people would start getting these really long strings. So I was like, yo, this is going to take me some time. Because people be like, hey, the next day they be like, are you done? Are you done? I'm like, dude, no, I had homework. I ain't finished, but this going to cost you extra. So, I started raising the prices for longer string, and I was measuring it by the size of my arm. I do remember that. I was like, if it's this much of my arm, this is the price. And if it's my whole arm, then it's this price. So your girl been hustling since elementary. Now, I moved from New York to North Carolina, and I didn't really have any friends, didn't want to make any friends because I felt like I had moved into this bad episode of Happy Days. I was like, oh my God, my mom has literally moved us to this bad episode of Happy Days. And I know, not now, but then my little 12-year-old, 13-year-old mind said everyone in North Carolina is a country bumpkin. And so I didn't want to make friends. I was like, I'm going to run away. I'm going back to New York. And eventually, me and my sister was like, hey, we not going to get back to New York. So I made a friend. I had a little group of 5 friends. And from there, people didn't know me, but they would, talk to my friends, the 5 friends that I had, and be like, hey, yo, that's the new girl from New York. Get her to say something. Get her to say something. And so I wouldn't say nothing. I always had like a blow pop or something, now later it's Jolly Rancher something. And so people started being like, hey, can I get one of those? And hey, I'm from New York. So I had to get my hustle on. Sure, I got a pack if you want it. 25 cents. Back then, I remember now laters was 10 cents for the pack. So I sold it for 25 cents. And from there, people just started calling me Candy Girl, even though Kaisha is not a hard name to say. But, it's fine. They were like, hey, the Candy Girl will hook you up. So that was my early days of getting my hustle on. And it has not stopped from there. So being an entrepreneur, I was at this networking event tonight. And I was talking to some new friends and new colleagues, and we were talking about how people are doing stuff on YouTube. And I was like, well, I have always told my kids, since they, phones and technology is everything. I said, hey, look, if you don't understand something, because we used to have to go to the dictionary or the encyclopedia, now you can Google or ask Siri. So I would tell my kids, like, why don't you YouTube how to do that if you don't understand how to do it? If the teacher didn't explain it the way that you can understand it, YouTube it, Google it, find somebody that's teaching it the way that you can do it, especially since everything they do is on their phones or some kind of technology. So, I knew YouTube had some useful things, but never thought about people are getting YouTube famous, or we used to call it hood rich, getting hood rich from doing things that people do all the time. I mean, there's somebody that, from my understanding, I haven't found it, but my homegirls was telling me that someone became famous because they started videotaping not having a job and what they did from not having a job. Do you know how many family members, friends that I know and have that do not have a job and still live fabulous? Like, they eating good, steak and shrimp, not missing no meals. They ain't paying for cable. They doing it. They getting their hustle on, but it's just a different way. So I said to them, I said, yo, we got another meeting next week. And I was like, bet. When we get back together, I'm going to have me a YouTube channel. I'm going to be telling y'all to follow me. So this is your girl, Lady K, coming to you about getting your hustle on. Now, I don't know what your hustle is. You got to find that for yourself. But it's out here. You can do it, and you can make it happen. Till next time, dream big and get your hustle on.